Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married last Friday at Madison Square Garden, and before anyone could even process the fact that it actually happened, the internet had already found its controversy. A man who runs an ICE immigration detention facility was apparently at the wedding. And Taylor, not Travis, is the one getting the heat for it. We are going to get into that, plus everything we know about what actually went on inside, the food and champagne rumors that got debunked, the friends who were conspicuously absent, and what Margaret Qualley not being there might mean for her own marriage. There is a lot. Let's get into it. The wedding took place on Friday, July 3rd, 2026, the night before the 4th of July and the United States' 250th anniversary. The venue was Madison Square Garden, which nobody was expecting, and the level of fan reaction outside the building was something else entirely. People were outside for hours. Someone tried to get leftover food from a staff member and filmed the whole thing. A live stream of the outside of the building ran for most of the day. The only official confirmation from Taylor or Travis was a sign outside MSG that said TNT married. That was it. They have not posted anything themselves, but other people talked. The CEO of AMC, the movie theater chain that partnered with Taylor for the Eras Tour film back in 2023, was apparently a guest, and he posted about the experience in enough detail that people immediately started pulling quotes. He described the transformation of the venue as complete. Floors, walls, and ceilings all draped in peach and white, with large photos of Taylor and Travis displayed at every age from 1-year-old through their late teen years. A section of MSG had been cornered off entirely and converted into what he described as an outdoor garden. Green and white florals, real flowers, around 15 rows of chairs for roughly 1,000 guests that somehow still felt intimate and small. He said violins and a cello played as the wedding party came in. Travis in a white tux, Taylor in a stunning white dress with a long veiled train. The vows were the detail people kept coming back to. They were reportedly 40 minutes long in total. Each of them had written their own, and apparently each set ran about 20 minutes. They used golden books to read from. Taylor's vows apparently included something about how Travis was the kind of guy in high school who would leave the popular table to go sit with kids who were being left out or bullied. The kind of person she wished she could have known back then. That detail got people. It is the kind of personal, specific thing that does not sound like something written for public consumption, which is why people are reading it as genuinely sincere. After the ceremony came the reception, which the AMP CEO described as even more spectacular. 5-story tall illuminated trees, a full secret garden setup, exceptional food and open bar. The couple also gave gifts to their guests. Drew Tranquil, a Kansas City Chiefs linebacker, and his wife, posted that she won a Chanel bag in a wedding raffle. The grand prize was a vintage car, the same make and model as the convertible Travis and Taylor drove away in after she attended her first Chiefs game back in 2023. Whoever won that got a piece of history. One more thing that came out and genuinely impressed people. Taylor and Travis reportedly donated $26 million to various charities over the wedding weekend. That is not a small number. That is the kind of gesture that says something about how they chose to frame what is probably the biggest moment of their public lives. Now, about the rumors that spread online. There were reports circulating that the wedding had champagne shortages and food line problems, and that guests were being ranked by celebrity status for arrivals. DeuxMoi got ahead of this quickly and published what their sources inside the event told them, and basically all of it was disputed. No champagne shortage, there were cases left over. No long food lines, there were more stations than needed, and any initial rush dispersed quickly. Staggered arrivals are standard practice for any large event, and were done purely for logistics, not status. No VIP section, no ranking system, everyone treated the same. So those rumors appear to have been significantly exaggerated, if not outright wrong. Now the controversy that actually has legs. A man named Stephen J. Demetrio was photographed heading into the wedding. Page 6 ran the photo. Swifties initially tried to say it was AI generated, but the photo traces back to that Page 6 article directly, so it is real. Stephen Demetrio is the executive chair of a company called Amendum, which is a major U.S. government contractor. In March 2026, Amendum was awarded a contract to operate Camp East Montana, an ICE immigration detention facility in Texas. The backlash was immediate, and it landed specifically on Taylor rather than Travis, which people have also noticed and commented on. The framing of the conversation has been about Taylor's guest list, Taylor's politics, Taylor's choices, even though this was presumably a shared wedding with a shared guest list. The explanation that has been circulating is that the invitation did not come from a personal friendship between Demetrio and either Taylor or Travis. The connection is reportedly through his son, Reggie King, who is said to have been one of Travis Kelce's childhood friends. The invitation came through a family relationship, not a direct endorsement of Demetrio's professional activities or business contracts. Whether that explanation satisfies people or not depends entirely on where they stand going in. Some feel that the personal friendship angle is reasonable and that you cannot vet every parent of every childhood friend of your spouse. Others feel that given Taylor's public platform and the political climate around ICE detention, the optics of having someone connected to immigration enforcement at the wedding, regardless of how the invitation happened, is something that deserves a direct response. Taylor has not addressed it. Travis has not addressed it. That silence is generating its own separate conversation. Moving to the absences, which is the other thread people keep pulling on. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were not at the wedding. That is not shocking given that the legal situation between Blake and Justin Baldoni, which Taylor was named in connection with, played out very publicly over the last year and a half. The friendship between Taylor and Blake became complicated in a way that neither of them has fully addressed on record. Their absence was noticed, but not surprising. Kelly Teller and Miles Teller were also not there. This one is quieter but in some ways more interesting because there was never a big public falling out. What people are hearing is a combination of theories. Kelly being too loose with information about Taylor, something to do with Taylor posting things about lyrics or personal details, possibly the Blake situation touching this friendship too. Nobody knows exactly what happened, but the relationship clearly cooled. And then there is Margaret Qualley. Margaret's husband, Jack Antonoff, was at the wedding. He has been one of Taylor's closest collaborators for years, and his presence made complete sense. Margaret was not there. She was spotted in Kingston, New York on Friday night, at a restaurant with a friend and a dog. Then again in Woodstock on July 2nd and back in Kingston on the 4th. Her absence from what is arguably the biggest celebrity event of the year, while her husband was present, immediately set off speculation. There have been rumors already circulating about her marriage to Jack having difficulties, and separate rumors linking her to a recent co-star. Neither Margaret nor Jack has said anything publicly, but the image of her eating at a restaurant in upstate New York on her husband's biggest work event night, whether intentional or not, has fed a narrative that people are going to keep watching. The invitations themselves became their own story. Pictures allegedly showing the watermarked invitations started circulating online, with each one supposedly marked with the specific guest's name to track leaks. AI-generated images of the wedding interior also spread before anyone had real photos, creating confusion about what was real and what was fabricated. As of this video, Taylor and Travis still have not released any official photos or posts about the wedding, which, for two people at that level of fame in the social media era, is itself a statement. They showed the engagement. They will probably show this eventually, but they are clearly choosing their moment. What stands out when you look at all of this together is that this wedding generated more conversation about what happened around it than about the couple itself. The food rumors turned out to be wrong. The ICE contractor situation is real and unanswered. The friend absences are real and mostly unexplained, and Taylor and Travis remain completely quiet while the internet fills in everything they have not said. What do you think is the biggest story coming out of this wedding? The ICE contractor situation? The missing friendships, or something else entirely? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe because there is definitely more coming on this as the photos eventually surface and more people start talking.